Hi, I'm Evan.
Hi, I'm Blake.
And we are Evan and Blake.
And I'm Mom.
For today's video, basically, we're just gonna ask her questions about how she felt when I came out about being gay and how she felt when he came down, which is my boyfriend. If you don't know that, you're kind of slow. But here we go. So since basically when I came out, everybody kind of already knew apparently. So
But me.
But hey, that was one of my questions. So before I came out, did you like suspect anything or no?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nada.
So as a night, you thought you were straight?
Yeah. Well, you gotta understand, he had this crush on this girl for like years. I mean, I like had to console him from tears over this girl for years. So no. Oh, and by the way, now he can't stand the chick, so.
No, I can't. How did you feel when I came out?
I was shocked.
You were shocked. That's it.
I mean, I kind of knew, I really had no clue about what the secret was, but I mean, I obviously knew that there was some humongous secret, because Evan and I have always been very close. He wanted me to order a kind of like one of those relationship bracelets, and I asked him, I was like, what is this? Because it's, you know, obviously 2 bracelets, one for the other person and one for himself. And I was like, what is this? He was like, yeah, when you're in a long distance relationship, you can send the bracelet to the person which reminds you of each other. And I had no clue who it was for. But, you know, at this point, Evan had been a little secretive and not as close to his mama. I knew something was up, and I knew it was big for you to not tell me, because we did always talk about whatever.
So how do you feel about where I came out? Like, tell them the story about how I came out to you, where I came out.
All right, y'all go home and check it.
Okay.
Make sure they didn't slide us on any of the, you know, on the weight.
On the what?
I'm just kidding, nothing. It was a drug-related joke. That was Evan's and Blake's brother and sister. I sent them to Walmart for a grocery store pickup for the first time ever.
So how do you feel about where I came out? Like, tell them the story about how I came out to you, where I came out.
I figured Evan being Evan, and he and I are close, you know, when he wanted to tell me, he would tell me. But apparently, this urge to finally tell his mother his deepest, darkest secret came out of Ingles.
You gotta tell me what Ingles is, because some
Ingles is a grocery store. It's just a grocery store chain here in the South. At the salad bar. And I just basically looked at him and I was like, well, I kind of figured something was up. I mean, you're always on your phone, it's always on mute, it's always in your pocket, you're always talking to somebody. I just sort of figured you'd tell me when you were ready, and I was like, okay, it's in Ingles.
It was really awkward too, like walking around afterwards, because it was just like we didn't really talk. And I mean, you'll figure out like if you're trying to come out to somebody or anything like that. When you first come out, you feel real awkward, because like everything just kind of changes after that. Like it's
like life as you know it is now different.
Yeah.
I told my mom I didn't want to talk to her, see her after that day that I told her, thought she'd like be yelling at me or something, but she didn't care.
Like when I told her it was real awkward, we just kind of walk around, we didn't talk. But then like eventually.
We didn't discuss it that much, and I guess for him, it felt weird that I didn't have more to say, which I'm kind of shocked that he felt that way, that I wouldn't have more to say, because all his life growing up, I mean, he's just always told me things, and I might have an opinion, I might not. I'm very just whatever. not uncaring or unfeeling or not, you know, that it doesn't matter by any means. I'm one of those that just goes with the flow. But how did you feel about him?
I mean, I don't know why.
What? Yeah.
At the house. Actually, I told a good bit of people before I told you.
Gee.
Then I told another girl, which was our other best friend. We had our own little friend group, and she didn't care at all. She was just like, oh, I kind of knew. I was like, oh, of course you did. And then I told Hunter, and Hunter was like, ooh, whoa. Hunter just kind of laughed, because he was like, yeah, I kind of knew. I was like, okay. And then I told my sister, because she kept walking in when I was on FaceTime with him, and she wouldn't leave me alone, because she wouldn't know who he was. So when she walked in, I was like, my boyfriend. she's like,
And then Nate walked in right after.
and then yeah, Nate was like, who are you talking to? And I was like, my boyfriend. He was like, no, for real. I was like, my boyfriend. And he was like, again? And I was like, yeah. He goes,
Makes sense.
I do.
I can see Nathan going,
Yeah.
makes sense.
And it feels weird because when you tell somebody they stop talking for a minute, I think it takes a second for people to process it.
It definitely does. It's not by any means that it bothers that person. It's just, especially as a mother, you have this already idea of knowing your child and knowing them in a certain way. And so when something completely changes that whole just picture, whatever the picture may be, it takes a second. It's not like you're upset, or it's not that you're trying to deal with it. It's just mentally, whether you realize it or not, you've developed a picture over their entire lifetime, and the picture has changed. And then once it's adjusted, you're good.
Every single time I told somebody, there was always that stage of silence, and like they wouldn't talk, and that's when you kind of, the person who told, you're just kind of sitting there like, should I not have told them? Like,
That's true,
because you don't know what they're thinking, and there's a reason they're not talking to you.
Well, I can tell you what one of the thought processes that they're doing is looking back through history, going, I didn't see that clue, or that makes sense, and then it finally just kind of ends where it's all wrapped up in you're adjusted.
When we got in the car, she was just like, "Don't you know, no matter what, I love you, and that you're always gonna be my son." And then she gonna start crying.
Every mom thing.
Really, nothing in this world that most parents, mothers and fathers, can't get over, or can't get used to, or can't adjust to, or because if you truly love your child, it's whatever makes them happy.
We tell me and Blake, because we have a lot of fans who come out to us, like, y'all can talk to us on our Instagram. We don't always respond to your messages, but like we'll look at them. Sometimes we'll screenshot, we'll post them so that everybody will understand. And a lot of people actually come to us asking, how do I tell these people, like, I'm scared that they'll leave us, or I'm scared that they won't like us? And I'm like, well, if they truly love you, as they state, if they're truly your friends, they won't care. And that I think it takes a minute for a lot of people to understand that they won't care. And I mean, that's before I came out to you, that's what I was feeling the whole time. Like, I'm not sure how she's gonna react. Not that I knew you wouldn't care.
You weren't worried. It's just like, how's this gonna go down?
Yeah, like, I wanted to know. Like, I guess it's just something like before we ask, everybody wants to just know how it's gonna work. So we kind of expect it, but like, you really can't. It's nothing. You won't be able to expect it. It's just
plan.
Well, next question is, how did you feel when I told you about Blake?
How did I feel when you told me about him? I mean, like, what? That he lived out of state? That
Yeah, like all that, like everything.
Well, obviously I was a little nervous by the fact that you met him online. Seriously, for future reference, because this isn't typical. This is not typical. You meet somebody online, it's not usually a good thing. Doesn't usually work out, especially out of state, long distance relationship. That whole term is, there for a reason, because it doesn't usually ever work out. This is unusual. So my initial thought was, oh my God, out of state, serious. I mean, but then as time passed and he was still around, I said, well, maybe this will work out.
A lot of people, like, if you are in a long distance relationship, if you're not talking to them through FaceTime or something that you can actually verify it to them, you got to be really careful, because people will catfish you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can do a lot of bad things through the phone, and you won't even understand.
Y'all really got lucky.
Yeah. So we're driving in the car, and Mama like had just asked. She was like, "Thanksgiving's coming up, guys. Who do y'all want to invite?" And me jokingly just said Blake, and she's like, "Well, what do we have to do to make it happen?" I'm like, "Oh, really?" So it was kind of weird too, because we were going through a thing in our relationship anyway, so it was already weird, and I was like scared to ask him because I thought he was gonna say no, and he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's like how he came down here the first time.
Yeah, it wasn't you come down, it was him go up.
Oh.
He'd never flown before. He wasn't, you were 17.
And we had never even met. Yeah.
I was like, before anybody starts flying anywhere, especially you up
Wait a
there,
couple months.
y'all gonna have to be together. I got to see that this is gonna be something serious. So, it got pretty close to it around Thanksgiving, and
I think it was 4.5 months right around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And we were, 4.5 months, if you search up and do longest relationship, you're not supposed to wait after about 3. And we were already pushed at 4.5. And after that you start having problems just because you're not seeing them. And
that's a long time for, you know, long distance relationship. So for that fact, and it was Thanksgiving, and I'd already been talking to him on the phone, and, you know, all the kids were, you know, they all loved him, and everybody, you know, just couldn't wait to meet him, getting this and that. So we were like, okay, well, we're going to make this happen. And he came down for a week. We got in the car, and neither one of them talked. I was like, oh, shit, what have we just done? And it didn't take long. And he did get over the headache, and that changed a lot. And we had a great time.
I'll never forget when we first, like, got home, and immediately he went straight to my room, and everybody's just kind of, like, stuck. It's like, it's weird, because this is a whole new person walks through this house, and everybody just kind of, like, looks around, and all the grandparents and uncles, everybody's like, wait, that's him? And we're like, yeah. So I go down there, and we just kind of look at each other. He's like, stop being awkward. And I'm like, you're being awkward, not me. And that's just what started all. I don't think I'll ever forget, like, us meeting for the first time in the room, because it was just so, like, different from anything I've ever experienced before.
Yeah. The first time I had to leave.
Oh, God. I mean, well, just for the lack of experience in flying, and as a mom, I was terrified for him. But yeah, I mean, it was sad to see him go. It was.
It was really sad. The worst thing ever.
And then, you
honestly.
know, what was it like? The next day, you're in my room, curled up in my lap, crying because he's not there anymore. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It was depressing.
Yeah. All right.
And then it was only what, literally a month.
We had it
after.
planned November, December. Yeah, it was literally a month
after.
As soon as he left, after, like, we were already sad because he had been gone, and then we were like, okay, well, we gotta think, how are we gonna get you back down here again so we can do this, like,
I literally
it all
got a
again?
job for it. Got a job promoted off various social media apps to make money to come back down.
So he'd be down here for Christmas.
So this is what these two jokers do to me. They bring him down for Christmas, which of course was great because I would love to have him for Christmas. And then, you know, he was to be, what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks here. It was as long as the break was.
2 weeks. What was it, the day before? The day before he was to fly out?
2 days before.
3 days before I had
2-3
to
days,
leave.
yeah.
Evan comes to me and goes, Mama, so, like, what do you think about if Blake were to get a job down here and we helped out and I've already checked out. I don't even remember what else he said. I'm like, oh God, here we go. And I was like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. He's got to finish school. He's got to do this. You know, y'all are so close to both of you graduating because obviously he's graduated now. And I was like, y'all just need to wait.
A perfect reason why she was telling us to wait because he hasn't graduated yet.
Yes. Everything's going well. We've managed to, you know, get him down here a few times, so we can continue to do that. Y'all just finish school. And I'm saying this like this because as I'm telling them this and it's all rational in my head, I'm going, yes, if you're going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to stick with your own words because it was, what, 6 hours? 6 hours later, I look at Evan, I'm like, yes, he can stay.
I didn't believe you. You walked in. It was weird. You just walked into the room when we were in the bathroom. After you came back from the store and you were like, yes. And I was like,
yeah, I literally
yes.
said yes.
And then you were like, you know what I mean. I was like, no, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean by yes? And then she goes,
no, we need to hear
yes,
it.
you can stay. And I was like, no way. And then we started hugging her and crying.
They both started crying out, started tearing up, so don't cry.
How do you feel about it now?
Yeah.
It was like the last piece to the puzzle when you finished the puzzle. It was natural and it was easy. An easy decision. Well, say that. In the end, when I made the decision, it was the easy yes. That was the outcome that we were looking for, and comfortable. And this little dude's growing on everybody. There ain't no way we can get rid of him.
He fit. He, like,
no way.
When he like finally was able to stay, he fit in perfectly.
Yes, everybody loves him. He is just like one of, you know, my husband and I. We have 9 between us, and he just fits right on in. And my husband just adores him.
He likes him more than me.
Like I went into Dairy Queen Sunday when he was working, and I was like, "Hey, boo boo." I know he's probably like, "Mama, stop." Yes, I love him dearly.
We're done. That's kind of good.
Okay.
Bye guys. Everyone, please go like the video if you liked it. Go comment down below which I would like to see next time. If you want to be our showstopper of the week, just post our stuff on Instagram. We'll see it in our message requests, and we will give a shout out. We love y'all, and we'll see you next time. Good luck.